What's up? Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome to the BitLab Academy daily stream. As you can see with my glassy eyes and my scratchy throat, I am not feeling tip top, but that's okay because I'm here for each and every one of you. I appreciate you all being here on a daily basis, and I try to be here as much as possible. So I got my lemon ginger tea right here. Oh yeah, baby, get it. I went yesterday. I'd never done it before. I felt so bougie yesterday. I went to this med spa thing that's kind of right across the street from where the HIT Network facilities are. And I got a IV bag with minerals and vitamins and all the stuff. I felt pretty good after for about an hour and a half, but then when I got home, it just kind of came on like a whirlwind, but decided to work from home today, and that's okay. I got to wake up a bit earlier. I didn't have the drive in, so I had a little bit more time to prepare. That's why I had the live thing posted a lot earlier. But we're going to talk about what's going on with the markets. Is there a signal that there's going to be some capital flow out of the markets, which would mean probably very highly likely downside for Bitcoin and the crypto markets that we all love and hold so dear? But do we really love and hold them so dear? Because we got to be prepared for both directions. So let's do that. Let's talk about it today. My name's Kellam. Welcome to the show. If this is your first time, I can guarantee it's not your last time. That's my information right there at Kellam. Now, if you haven't yet, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. Let's see, got anything you need to rest? Yeah, I do need to rest, but there's too much going on. A lot of stuff going on with BitLab, a lot of stuff going on with all the indicator development that we've been doing. Had that necessary sort of chosen family gathering, I should call it, because it's a grouping of very close friends. We've been doing that private festival for 14 years now. They all came to my rescue when I had an accident in Thailand. I ended up in the hospital in Bangkok for a month. I had to be life flighted from an island to over here, and they really came to my rescue. So I try to be there with them, as much as possible. And I kind of have dipped out the last 2 years, not participating much in that community because I was rebuilding myself professionally on this crypto side. While I've been in crypto since 2015, I've been on the public side of it since August of 2021. That's when I started working with the crypto Jeb team, and then was there for about a year, and then kind of free agented over to the HIT Network side, where I'm able to rebuild BitLab Academy and really have a lot of resources to do exactly what I want. And I feel like a lot of what the industry kind of needs right now: personability, no ego, data, tools, strategy, breaking it down from beginner to pro. That's what this is all about. So let's get into it. I don't need to have a long drawn out monologue today. If you haven't yet, that's the wrong button. My brain is not firing on all cylinders. But hey, I'm here with each and every one of you. Rafiq Ghafouri said Koh Samui or Koh Chang. I was in Koh Samui, actually. I was a music director and resident DJ for W Hotels. I was running all the music programs and events in Southeast Asia there. And I was going back and forth between Koh Samui and Koh Phangan and Koh Tao and Singapore. And I was going all over the place. I was there for about 10 months when I had my accident and ended up in the hospital in Bangkok. But that's a whole nother, that feels like I felt like I was living in a movie when it happened. So we're happy you're here, Kelly. Dano Crypto, I'm happy you're here, brother. Fading Trading, nice, Kelly. Hey, everybody, big love to you all. Let's jump into it. I don't know why the hell this damn camera on this phone always goes blurry, because this is a badass phone. The other one I use in the studio is like 6 years old and never has a fucking problem. Are you goddamn kidding me? Don't trust. Okay, let's see. All right. Who cares if it gets faded today, because we're going to be talking about charts. You see, I'm irritable. I am tired. All right, let's dive into it. How are you doing, everybody? Sorry for my little outburst. I've not eaten yet today. All right. Make sure you give me a follow here at Kellam, KELLAM. If you did not participate yesterday, where's it at? Right here. Go and listen to this. This was a great one of my I don't want to say favorite, but one of my I really appreciated this space because we had the Rational Root, Kevin Svensson, this gentleman right here, the Rational Root. I always share his charts on here. Kevin Svensson, amazing technical analyst, also crypto YouTuber, and Traders Mastery, this is Jordan Lindsay, who we did a long interview with, I don't know, about 5 months ago now. But this was, we really dug into a lot of what's going on in the space, likelihood of where we're going throughout the year, and what it's going to likely look like, the trajectory of price going into the halving and beyond. Really great conversation. So I definitely recommend you all, throw it on later when you're running about. I'll go ahead and I'll post this in here. Yeah, I don't know why my thing's doing that. I don't really care. But that's I just shared it there. But I also wanted to say, if you haven't yet, make sure you head over to the BitLab Academy Twitter page, which is right here at Academy BitLab. Give this a follow. Make sure you're following, hit this retweet, hit this like. We will be giving away something different today. And I will weight the comment picker wheel more heavily towards today. So if you do like, share, and retweet this one today, this is how you get entered to win. Now let's go ahead and dive into it. We're having a little bit of a slow start today with my, that tea is needed. Bitcoin turns less volatile than S&P 500 tech stocks and gold. Question about this is, does this mean it's forever going to be less volatile? Absolutely not. That's a pipe dream. There's going to be periods, and also things are going to cyclically flow like everything that happens in markets. It's going to become more volatile, then it's going to become less volatile, then so on and so forth. In fact, let me actually come over here. I'm going to go to the Rational Roots page because he shared something a while back. Where's this at? Here we are. That actually talks about the correlation with Bitcoin and the stock market. And interestingly, it's funny how these things sort of present themselves broadly across the media sector, in crypto. And what I mean by media sector is all of us that do content, whether it's on Twitter or YouTube or any of these various places where we're sharing content with all of you. I tuned into BitBoy Crypto this morning. I had AJ on. I love AJ. He's one of my favorite people at the office there. He was doing TA and stuff for, the morning stream that BitBoy's doing there, where they're doing research and TA. AJ was doing it today, and we didn't plan this at all, but he was looking at, he was looking at the correlation, not necessarily the correlation. He was looking at what's going on with the ESY. He was looking at the traditional stock indexes and how it could relate to signal for what's going to happen with Bitcoin. And I had already posted this. This was already planned. This is what happens when the markets get boring. It reminds us to identify and remember other signals that are present that can give us some sort of edge on what's happening in the market. And in this case, markets, Bitcoin's kind of up at a known resistance level. Actually, let me pull up that, the Bitcoin chart. We could talk about this. Shout out to every one of you 92 people here in the room. I appreciate you all being here. We're going to, I forgot Bitcoin. My brain is not working today. So Bitcoin, come over here, boom, boom, boom. So, looking at this on the 12-hour chart or the daily doesn't really matter. Let's look at the daily. We can see this level that we kind of pushed up into, and we've kind of lost this level. We've come down. Not only did we come down, we came down, tested, got rejected again. Consolidated sideways, pushed up, got rejected again. This is starting to look weaker and weaker. Now, I did map out these three levels, the 382, the 0.5, and the 618. What are these levels of? These levels are of the fib from this low to this high. And people back here were calling me bearish because I'm like, they want it to just go up. I don't care if it goes up or down. I just care if I'm in position to make sure I can take the best advantage of the moves as they unfold. So over here, I saw this was likelihood for price to come down into these levels. And of course, shortly after that, I sneezed. Gesundheit. We can see shortly after that, we did lose this level, reject, come down, tried another attempt to the upside, reject, come down. So is this indicating that this may be a stopping point somewhere in here and that we're going to come up? Or is there a signal that suggests that Bitcoin is likely going to come further down. I want it to go up, just like each and every one of you, I'm sure. The market doesn't give a damn about what you want. Know that. What are the signals that talk about this? So we're going to dive further into that. We're going to be doing a bunch of TA here, but let's get through some of these things we wanted to share. I wanted to bring up this chart that talks about the correlation of Bitcoin and the S&P 500. Here we go. This is Bitcoin and the S&P 500 over 40 days. We can see this right here. I mean, this is all the way back at the previous top, 64,000. Then we came over here to the 69,000. And we can see this is a correlation metric. Are we below? Is Bitcoin performing more negatively or more positively as it relates to the S&P 500? Over here, we see this spread. We also see this spread right here. See the spread between the Bitcoin price and the S&P 500? And then when we drop below it right here, you also see this drops below the zone right here. And right here, we've seen the S&P 500 has actually been outperforming in terms of the correlation. S&P 500 has been performing better than Bitcoin. Now, all the while S&P 500 has been ticking up, we see that over here, and this goes all the way back to, April of this year. If we zoom out on this and we look at April, everybody, only 26 more likes to get it to 100. Let's get it to 100. Let's get it to over 200 today. We're going to give away a bunch of merch and some stuff, but if we get it over 200 today, maybe we'll give away a little bit of a money prize too. Everybody get involved. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Ding the bell. I'm here for you while I'm sick, baby. But we come back over here. We look into June or April. So April, look at this. It was April into May, we were, pulling back. We got the great news that we saw right here, which was, what is this news? This is the BlackRock ETF news. And, followed shortly after, I think about right here, somewhere in this region here, was this was the XRP news right here, I believe. Let's see, what day was XRP? XRP summary judgment date. I believe it was around the 14th. Yeah, 13th. So if we look at that on the chart, show me the charts, I'll tell you the news. This is where something happened. Boom. This is where the BlackRock ETF, boom. Two of the biggest news stories in the history of Bitcoin. And we cannot break this, we did break this high, but this is a previous high. But look at the difference in levels between this high and this high. And now we get the biggest news in history, and it basically brings it regionally right back into the same territory that the price was here. What does that say about the bulls? This says this is a lot of liquidations. This is short liquidations getting, basically like a short squeeze in combination with the speculative hype that was the buying pressure to drive the price up here. So then what happens when the speculative hype dissipates because there's no, what other news is going to follow BlackRock ETF application? And then their little positive press junkets. There's still a lot that can come, I'm sure. Amazon, Apple, a major nation state putting Bitcoin on their balance sheet. But we can't plan on any of those. We can't plan on any of that. Who's to say it's going to happen in the next 6 months or the next 6 years? So the speculative hype dissipates and then necessarily price pulls back. Well, as price pulls back, what is going to incentivize price to go up? When we look, and we can come back over to our main guy here, Rational Root. We've talked about this a lot. You look at where we're at from previous all-time high, from all-time highs on cycles, 3 different cycles here, the yellow, the orange, and the pink, to the cycle lows, which is here. And look at where we're at. I know I've brought this up on stream several times, but we have to drill this into our heads. Price action, the level, the speculative nature of what the value of Bitcoin is, which is the price that we're seeing on exchange, we see is directly, it's almost absolutely median between where we were in this first halving cycle, the second halving cycle, and where we're at right now. We're right in the middle of it. But look at what happens with price on all these going into the halving. We got a little bit of a push up here. But if we look at this in terms of a statistical data set, this push up is almost nullified by this drop off. And what are we seeing right here? We're seeing price action go sideways. And then if we look on these two previous halvings, we got a little bit of a correlation of sideways and a little bit of a drop in two different zones, but basically sideways, you know, some push up 20, 30, 40%, drop off 20, 30, 40%. Basically, speculative nature happens fairly early coming into the halving, and then we get a lot of sideways action. So we need to look as to, yes, the halving's coming. It means we're going to have a parabola, but we can't just count on that today. We have to count on what the price action, what the signals are telling us today. So let's continue on here. Let me move this over there. By the way, I don't want to say I hate the X name, but I hate the logo that's in the, you can't see it because I have it trimmed out. But when you have a bunch of tabs open and you just see a bunch of the X's, I'm not my favorite. So Apple is trading back below $3 trillion market cap. Okay, we're going to talk about why all these things are important. Amazon just reported earnings. Earnings per share, 65 cents, beating an expectation of 34. That's, you know, just short of double the EPS. Pretty incredible. But we have to remember, Apple and Amazon are not the entire stock market. We got a couple incredible performers. But when we're looking at the health of the investment space, equities, risk, and don't forget that Bitcoin, although it is considered safer than many of the other altcoins, it is a risk asset. It's like the ultimate risk asset. It's the safest risk asset in terms of the digital asset economy. But comparatively with other equities out there and other investment vehicles, Bitcoin is still incredibly small market cap. Let me put it this way. Apple's trading around $3 trillion market cap. Bitcoin itself is around 500 billion, not even a trillion. Bitcoin is a baby. It is a baby. Now, coming over to this next, Airbnb just reported earnings per share 98, beating expectations of 77. So we're seeing some positivity within the broader economy, and especially these massive tech stocks. Thank you all for putting up with my voice today. I'm feeling a little down so much on my Apple calls. Well, you know what? We're talking all strategy here, so let's figure out how we can all be better to not be down. There was something else I wanted to share here. We're looking at all these major players within the investment within the investment arena. But let's come over here. Let's pull this up. Let's go back to TradingView. We're going to come to my trad markets, which is basically I have four different. S&P 500 ETF trust. We got the dollar index. We got NASDAQ. We have Dow Jones. So what I want us to notice here, let's actually delete this. Let's NASDAQ. Let's look at how this has been performing. Ooh, Gesundheit. I'm here for it though, baby. I'm here for it. So we can see, come on, focus. Doesn't quite matter. Drives me crazy though. Doesn't quite matter, but it really does drive me crazy. There we go. Where are we at? We're looking right here. This is November. This is 2021. Where are we at? Oh, wait. Yeah, boom, boom, boom. This is okay. This is where I want to look. December 2021. Sorry, 2022. The NASDAQ, I mean, we had a push up into the end of the year in 2022 while Bitcoin was still consolidating. I had that, I think in November, right about right. It was right about right here. here. This is the FTX collapse. We're not going to see it on this chart because FTX is somewhat of an uncorrelated institution as compared with the stock market. But we saw the FTX collapse, which means also Bitcoin had a pretty dramatic fall. But we see that this actually, the NASDAQ was actually performing quite well. We're actually seeing the NASDAQ on the daily has been performing, it's been dropping. It's been, falling down. It had an attempt back up, rejection at this level and coming down. And what I want you to notice here is we look here we have the BitLab indicators here. We have the BitLab intelligence, which gives us the dynamic resistance zones, and support, as well as the EMA ribbons. But we're also seeing here on the trend fuel that we've had a decline in momentum on any positive momentum. Look at this decline in positive momentum on the BitLab trend fuel. This is momentum. We also see the money flow is just kind of being very choppy in here. And the momentum is now shifted down back negative. And the question is going to be here, is this momentum to the downside going to eclipse the lows of this previous negative momentum wave? As it stands right now, on this daily candle, it looks like it's trying to make a little bit of a move up, but I would consider this probably most likely going to be a failed move. Now, again, why are we talking about NASDAQ and S&P 500 and these, stocks when we care about Bitcoin? The market is boring right now. We need to find any edge we can. And if the markets, most specifically, if we look over here at the S&P 500, this one's actually a little bit better. This is a little bit more relevant when we're talking about Bitcoin, because look at how this has been performing all the way since April. I mean, really all the way since back here in March, basically up. It's essentially doing this. It's essentially going like this. But the difference is here. Now look at this pullback, push up. This is coming down. The question is going to be right here, is on this sort of small retracement to the upside, this relief, is this going to be a relief that's rejected here and then we see further downside? Or is this going to take this out and we're going to break past this high again? If we cannot take out this high here, then this is suggesting that the liquidity that has been so freely flowing into the S&P 500 lately, and kind of in some ways feels nonsensically based on what's going on with the global economy. If we get this rejection here, and if Bitcoin has been holding in this region while the S&P is performing well, and we couldn't even break up with the S&P performing well, and we're getting a small pullback, and on the small pullback, we also get a pullback on Bitcoin. What happens if we get a bigger pullback on the S&P 500? If we reject here, we want to pay attention to this, because look at this. We also have bearish divergence on the momentum waves right here. See this high and this high is lower? Well, look at this high and this high is higher. So this is suggesting that it's almost like the last little bit of adrenaline, in a runner or, somebody, an animal fighting for its life. You get that last little kick to really kind of try and get you away. But if it doesn't work, then that means you no longer have any fuel to continue climbing the mountain. That's why you want to pay attention to these divergences. Now let's go ahead and delete some of these lines. And I want to double click on this, bring up the RSI and the stochastics. I'm here for it though, baby. All right. So zooming in here, not only do we have this bearish divergence look on the momentum, we also have bearish divergence here on the stochastics. We also have bearish divergence here on the RSI. How do I know that? Because if there's bearish divergence on the momentum, this means this is a high and a lower high. And this is as it relates to what's happening with the price action on this asset or this index. On this index, there's a high and a higher high, whereas this one is a high and a lower high. So if we're getting the same thing on RSI, high, lower high, stochastics, high, lower high, then this is suggesting we're getting 1, 2, 3 major divergences, bearish divergences on this asset class as this is coming down. And what have I said 100 times on this channel? If we come back over here, when you actually, I talk about it a lot when we come over here to this right here. What happens when you get price action moving up and the momentum starts to shift, meaning, let me not shift. The momentum starts to evaporate. What do I mean by evaporate? God dang it. We have large impulse, pullback. Still an impulse, but much smaller than this impulse, pullback. Much smaller impulse, pullback. Even smaller impulse, pullback, and we have before we get the lower high, we have a lower low as it relates to this price action, followed by a lower high. So if we come back over to the S&P 500, what do we have here all of a sudden? We have a lower low. This is indicating to me there's probably a pretty strong likelihood that wherever this gets up to will likely reject somewhere between here and this 50 moving average right here, this trend signal line, which is very green, flips to red, and it's kind of like almost a yellowish color. It's not, we're starting to get that dynamic resistance zone starting to build. We see the RSIs coming down. They're trying to bounce up, but they are down quite low. And the momentum's rolling over. So this is indicating to me that the confidence in the markets, which will then translate into how Bitcoin is performing. I got you, Didi. Right charge. I'll get you in a second. How do I get the side volume bars? I'll let you know. But this is indicating to me, see this right here? Pull back, push up, pull back. These are still higher lows. Push up, pull back, push up. This almost is the same lows. Push up that doesn't get the same high. And now we get the lower low. This is indicating to me that S&P 500 is likely going to start pulling back. And if that were to be the case, that means there's going to be less liquidity confidence in risk assets. So if that's the case, and Bitcoin's already been struggling to make strong strides following the biggest couple news weeks in history of Bitcoin. So it failed to break through 32K, held that level, great. While S&P was still performing quite strong. Look at this, all of June up. What do? We held firm, actually started pulling back. So now if this actually starts pulling back further, what is that going to tell you about what the risk narrative is going to be with Bitcoin? Ask yourself that. So yes, we want it to go up. But more importantly, I don't want it to go up. I want to be able to predict how I can navigate the market so I can get in before it goes up and get out before it goes down. If we are swing trading, for instance, if you're buying positions for the next bull market, then this gives you an indication maybe right now, if we're looking at Bitcoin, maybe right now is not the buy time. Maybe right now is waiting for some of those targets. We already have some of them drawn out, but could it go lower? So these are the targets that we have drawn out. And by the way, I just want to say, everybody, how much I appreciate each and every one of you being here. Here on BitLab Academy, we really try to bridge the gap from beginner to pro, give you all the tools, the skills, the strategies needed so that you can dominate these markets. We're coming into a partnership with BitGet as well. We got a lot of great offerings that are going to be coming from that here very soon. So with that being said, this TA section is brought to you by BitGet. Shout out to them. If you want to check out anything on them, you can go in the description down below the video, and you will see that there is a BitGet login link. If you want to sign up there. I will say before I suggest that at all, I just want to say to everybody out there, regardless of where you live, regardless of what your motif is on, regardless of where you live, regardless of what your motif is on privacy and all that sort of stuff, I think it's a good practice for anybody that's involved in any sort of financial markets at all, trading, investing, that you always make sure that you use some sort of IP masking like NordVPN or ExpressVPN, some sort of VPN thing that can help obfuscate what your IP address. It helps prevent you from being hacked. It helps prevent you from people phishing into your computer. So make sure anytime you're on the internet doing anything crypto related, I really want to highly recommend that you have some sort of VPN service provider that you're using to help protect yourself. Now, with that being said, if you do want to get involved with BitGet, we're going to be starting to do some really wonderful trading events here on the channel, and they're going to be basically limited to those people that are members of basically sign up to this to the BitGet link, and you can trade with us specifically on there. Again, I just want to highlight how important it is for you to be using a VPN when you're doing any trading. That may solve some problems that you may find if you don't. I'll just say it that way. So with that being said, let's dive back into the charts. Again, I don't know what's going on there. So with that being said, let's dive into the charts. Again, this section is brought to you by BitGet. We're going to be breaking down what we should be doing. And here's very shortly, we're going to be breaking down these trades in the trading port, in the trading desk there on BitGet. So use that link to sign up if you want. You're going to be able to get access to some of these things that we're going to be doing here very soon. Now, looking at this, we have these lower targets that now back here seem like a pipe dream. But this is why you always prepare ahead of the eventuality of something happening. You want to prepare for price action to head towards an area before it gets there. So you trade on strategy, not on emotion. So me setting these targets here, once we got this high, this was me being prepared. And then we see price action come down into the zone, bounces off it, comes back down, dips a little lower. It came back up. It's getting rejected. Where will the bottom of this be? Benjamin Kellam talks about it potentially getting down to $23,000, $24,000. Very likely, very well could happen. If we remember, if we zoom out on this, like this, we do have this rising wedge that we had to fake out of to the upside, and now we came down, bounced on this lower level of support, pushed up here, got rejected at this level this time, and now we're coming down. This level is something I'm watching very, very tightly. Let me kind of move this. I'm trying to just tap the bottom side of that wick. That would be for the price action to come into this zone right here, down into the 28,000. This is the most bullish case, I would say, for the further pullback. Does it mean that I think it's absolutely going to bounce there? I mean, honestly, to the contrary, I think going into the second half, going into the rest of August, there's a lot of hurdles in the way for price and not a lot of hope for some major positive news story, especially that's going to eclipse the BlackRock ETF news. So minus any incredible new event that is working, Fibonacci and Guac, BitGet available in New York. My answer to that is you're going to have to make these decisions on your own. I did make a suggestion about using a VPN that may or may not affect your ability to do things. Yes. So there you go. So looking here, and by the way, when I use a VPN, I always use Brazil. Some people use Lithuania. So it essentially allows your computer not to be something that can be targeted for any hacks, but it also allows you to utilize services that are not, hold on, I got to sneeze. Utilize services that you have to remember, these services that are limited are not limited because it's something illegal for you to do. It's something that those institutions themselves, like Bybit, BitGet, Femex, all these trading institutions, these trading companies, it's their responsibility to try and limit people in the US from using it. It's not illegal for any one of you to use those. In order to do that, I do think it's highly necessary for you to protect your identity using a VPN. You can kind of figure out what that means. Because it also adjusts where your IP address is from. So looking here, we can see we have the targets below. The question is, are we going to bounce at this level? In all honesty, we see this fake out to the upside. I think that if we come down to this level, price action will likely fall below this. I have a pretty strong inkling that, what am I doing? I have a pretty strong inkling that if price action, I'm going to move these over just so the targets can still be hit as price action matures. If price action comes down into the zone, I think price action will likely, more likely than not, come down into this zone down here in the $25,000 to $26,000 region. This is because of the lack of follow through. I don't know why I'm like. Okay. This is because of the lack of follow through at the price levels we currently are at. This makes me so I don't know why this frustrates me so much. Whatever. I guess the cloudy lens is reminiscent of how I'm feeling inside. Nord app for phone. Yeah, I use Nord for my phone and for the other stuff. But now looking here, this is where I'm looking for Bitcoin likely to actually go. Now, if we come back over here to the SPY, we do see this coming up. And look at this already on this one daily candle. This is already showing signs of a reversal. This is showing signs of weakness. We have this open here, sort of, yeah, this is not looking like the strongest candle. Let's go down to the 4 hour. Yeah, this is finding resistance already immediately in this EMA ribbon. Now, if we bring on the BitLab volume, I don't know if it's going to work because this is an index. Let me actually go over to, yeah, I'd be looking for this to come down likely to this level right here. Why this level? Because we can see we have two tops right here. This is where I'm looking for the price action to come down to, likely bounce, and potentially even come down further. How do we know where it's going to go next? We look at levels that have confluence on multiple zones. We have rejection here. We have support here, rejection, support all across here. So I'm looking for this price action. We can even draw this. We'll check our work in a couple of weeks. This guy likely coming up like this, a little bit of work, come down, push up, come down, push up, come down into this sort of region here. We'll have to see how this all plays out. I'm going to draw that a little better. We'll have to figure out what happens at this zone right here. But that would be a pretty, it doesn't feel like a lot, but when you get, 2, 3, 4% moves on these massive indexes, it's a major impact on liquidity. Now looking at the Dow Jones, similar thing here. We were pushing up and we, let's see. Look how much higher this is right here on these two price level tops. And look at this momentum waves, nearly at the same level. So there's a bit of a small amount of bearish divergence here with the lack of momentum follow through here to get this all the way up here. So in addition to that, then we have the lower low right here. What's going to happen here? If we're not able to push back up fairly quickly and take this level out right here, then I think most likely what's going to happen is this is probably going to roll over. This is probably going to roll over somewhere in this region here, come down, bounce on this line here. This line is the 50 moving average trend signal line. Come back up like this, bounce like this, and then lose this and coming down somewhere into this region right there. Now, this is important because we're talking about Bitcoin, but we're talking about the capital pressures in the market, the liquidity pressures. Let's see. I hope you guys are okay with me going. I don't know what my thing switches like that when my mouse goes on the other monitor, just so y'all know. I don't know why. I hope you guys are okay today. I'm obviously not feeling my best, but I'm still trying to bring you some data. There's some other ones I wanted to show you here. This right here. Not buying Bitcoin sub 30,000 is now like sub 10,000. And he has these, and then also like not buying it sub 500, not buying sub 10. What he's doing here is he's showing the interaction of Bitcoin price as it relates with it looks like the 2-year realized price. And when we are at these levels, flirting with it, we could see what Bitcoin has gone on to do. Now, yes, I am talking today about likely small pullback going in, throughout the rest of the year, because we also have to think about, we had the BlackRock ETF, the deadline for that. When is the deadline for the BlackRock ETF, actually ETF decision? Here we go. Gotta wipe my nose. Where is the thing I am looking for? Let's see. I think it's sometime middle end of August. I can't find it here very quickly. Command F, August. Bastard. Yeah, it's going to be sometime middle end of so here it is. The next decision day is August 13th. So this is something we need to pay attention to. So what I'm trying to point out here is the fact that although we're looking at all these things, you know, price could be coming down, price could be going up. You know, we're looking at spotty, we're looking at the traditional assets, all these sorts of different things. The important thing here is if we had all this positive inflation in price or expansion in price to the upside with no follow through, and a lot of this was speculative, right? Good news. BlackRock's involved, ARK invested in other, they adjusted their spot ETF, Invesco, I mean, there's so many different things out there, but there's a 240-day deadline for the ultimate decision from the SEC. Along the way, and the first one is 45 days from when they all hit the Federal Registrar. This starts around the middle of August, and the highest likelihood is that there's going to be a delay. It's not going to, I don't think that there's going to just be this mass approval of ETFs on the first decision day, because if we look at this right here, look at this. This is not what I want to look at. I had it up, I promise. SEC crypto AI. This. SEC Chair Gary Gensler pivots agency's attention to AI. We can get to crypto later. Does this give you any sort of indication that they're going to likely go ahead and very quickly pass ETFs? No, there's likely going to be delays. And on each delay, there's probably going to be a sell-off because of the speculative nature that's going to, bearish speculative nature that's going to drive. So if we're already failing to follow through to the upside, and then we get some lack of follow through on the decisions of what drove the speculation in the first place, this gives me further indication that price is likely coming down into these levels here, somewhere between 27.6 and 26,000, somewhere in this region. We'll have to see what happens with other news and everything, but this is where we can look to for now. Morning all. You're not so late, maybe a Band-Aid. We appreciate you being here anytime you can arrive. Now, I just want to do a quick shout out real quick. Everybody that's here on a daily basis, we appreciate you. I'm not going to go on the full screen because my damn camera is not. Come on, focus on me. Focus. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Guys, you're getting the real me today. Don't trust, piece of shit. All right. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't even know what we were talking about. Oh, I appreciate each and every one of you being here. Thank you. I do generally try to keep my mouth pretty clean on these shows, but I'm tired. I'm unrested. I'm sick. You're getting the raw Kelly today. I apologize for that. But I just want to say, everybody, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. We still have over 60% of the people that watch on a daily basis aren't subscribed. What are you doing? Get involved. So coming back over to the charts, we got about 30 minutes. We can very quickly I want to touch on a couple things. That crypto community in limbo after Joe Biden's laser eyes campaign video. I can't imagine that he has any idea what the hell he's talking about in regards to Bitcoin. Is it a good thing? Yes. Does he have any idea what he's doing? I think somebody gave him a talking point and gave him a mug. And he doesn't even know what he was talking about. Because if he did, then he'd get some regulatory clarity around the entire crypto market. He'd support Bitcoin. Bitcoin would start to be on the balance sheet of the U.S. government rather than them selling off coins that they've confiscated from other illegal proceedings in the past. It's like somewhere like $4 or $6 billion in crypto. How much? Let's see what it is. How much Bitcoin U.S. government have? 5.66 billion. This is probably going to be wrong depending on the date that this was done. So, okay, here, yeah. So in June of 2023, 207,000 Bitcoin. Why would they ever sell this? If they have an idea what the laser eyes meant, Joe Biden would basically do a mandate that we are not selling Bitcoin, we are accumulating. Now that could be a news story that could really jump the price, but I just don't see that happening. Coinbase to challenge SEC lawsuit, says regulator has no jurisdiction over crypto. I agree with that, but we'll see how this pans out. I don't really want to get into this article. Coinbase, they're going to be fighting this. In reality, they're fighting the SEC on behalf of the entire crypto industry, especially in the US. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I didn't even read this one. SEC releases documents on crypto conflicts amid Empower oversight litigation, raising questions about transparency over bias against Ripple. Okay, let's see. SEC's crypto conflicts exposed. Ethereum favored. That's interesting. After a 2-year ordeal involving the Federal Open, actually, I don't even remember what FOIA is, request court cases and new documented disclosure. The SEC has at last provided new information in answer to Empower Oversight's relentless questions. The new materials underscores the pivotal role played by Joseph Lubin and his company Consensus in influencing former SEC Director of Corporate Finance, William Hinman's perspectives and objectives behind the contentious June 2018 crypto speech. Yeah. So I don't really care about any of this. I mean, I'm just bringing up some of the news stories of the day, but let's talk charts. Let's talk charts, guys. Man, I do not feel good. All right. Bitcoin. We've done enough of Bitcoin. If this were to break to the upside, I don't need to give you guys a level. What's the level we're watching if this breaks to the upside? If it breaks to the upside, first level is right here, 30,000. The most important level is right up here, 31.8. Both of those, any impulse to either of these levels, I'd be watching the velocity, the momentum, the volume to see if there's likely going to be follow through. You should care. Well, I do care. Wait, are you talking to me? No, I do care. Digital orgy. It's just more like I don't care enough to stop the show right now to really dig into those articles. I didn't have enough time to get into them before the show. So I care more about keeping the show flowing, is what I should say, than diving into an article and trying to pull out little nuggets from there. I think there's a lot of there's an unnecessary amount of corruption and narrative sculpting within our government officials and within the government bodies and regulatory bodies and etc. That, to be honest, I used to be Mr. Patriot. I mean, I'm ex-US Air Force. If government said we need to do this, I do this. And I'm not going to lie, the last 3 to 4 years, I've grown increasingly disillusioned with any trust of anything that's on the news or anything that comes out of any politician's mouth. So that's all I had to say about that. I'll go mine that fiat, Matt C. Thanks for being here, brother. All right, let's look at some charts. I'm talking too speculative now, and I'm not feeling good. Yeah. You know what? I'm taking my face off the screen since the thing's on. Give me 1 second, guys. I just got to get some tea. Let's do it. All right. Thank you guys for being patient with me today. Whew. All right. Let's break down some charts. We talked about Bitcoin. Let's just run down the list. First off, I'll actually want to look at the Dixie to see what's going on there. Dixie looking rather tepid. It's finding a little bit of a rejection here. Question is going to be, is it going to find support here or continue down? I'd like to see this, excuse me, continue going down. Look down here in the trend fuel. We have the, oh, you know what? That's why. We have the VWAP is in a bearish stance. Stochastics bearish. RSI bearish. The trend wave bearish. Stochastics top and bottom bearish. So this is a great little easy visual metric to see if things are, looking bullish or bearish or neutral. In this case, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 6 signals here being bearish. Maybe a Band-Aid for some more tea. Hope you get better, man. Thanks for giving your time. Thank you for your service. Maybe a Band-Aid. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate it anytime you guys do that. Let me see. Cancel that. Okay. Now let's continue on here. So we'd like to see this if we do want to see the risk assets and digital assets performing well. We want to see this continue coming down. What I don't want to see is this right here. See this right here? This looks like it could be forming a inverted head and shoulders. If this were to find any sort of support here and come back up, I do not want to see that. So let's just keep an eye on that. Now let's kind of exit out of this. We're going to exit out of that. Come over to Bitcoin. We did a lot of TA yesterday on a lot of things. Look at this. I'm just noticing this now because this is on the screen. Quant is getting a little bit of a bounce here. This is nice. It's pushed up above, I believe this is a 20 SMA, and it's pushing beyond the EMA ribbon right here. But this is on the 4-hour. We do have the green diamond right here. Money flow is not making strong headway. Cancel. Money flow is still neutral right here. We see this, and I don't want to see this expand back to the downside. But as this is, you see we have 2 neutral, 2 bullish, 2 bearish. You see this right here on the bottom right corner. We can also see the order flow right here. If anybody follows order flow, so I cannot wait to share all these new indicators with you guys. It's all integrated in a much better fashion, a lot easier to see and read. I'm going to put this on the right. Inputs, right. So this is a VPVR with additional order block readings here to give you essentially where liquidity magnet zones are based on what's happened in the order books and order flow. So price action tends to get sucked back into these. And we can also use these as support and resistance. We see these down here, these green ones. Green ones are below, the red ones are above. So what I don't want to see is Quant to come back up into this, get rejected, take this level out and come down into here. It's definitely a possibility though. We can see right here, the point of control, this teal line is right here. We bounced right on this point of control, coming back up. The question is going to be, you see this major trend line right here, or not major, but medium term. This is all the way from, it's 63-day trend line right here. I do not want to see, and it's interesting that this trend line is right in the middle of this order block right here. So if this does work its way up, I'm watching here for probably more likely than not, a continued breakdown, probably a rejection here and continue down. But either way, we will watch the velocity, the momentum, divergences, all the things when we see this hit right here. Now, I feel like, yeah. So that's what I'm seeing on Quant. If we lose this level, this is an important level. Right here, option J, because look at all this support shelf, boom, 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 boom. If we lose this level, then I am looking at us coming down here to into the sub 100, $98, $99. That's what I'm seeing on Quant. Now, everybody in the room right now, we didn't do it pre-show. I want everybody in the room. We're going to do a bunch of Turbo TA today. Everybody in the room, throw up one coin. If you had to pick one coin that you wanted to see TA on, let me know. Right now, drop it in the chat. Let me know, and we will break down TA on as many coins as we can get through between now and the end of the show. Shout out to my daddy-o, Mr. Silky, Mr. Brad Kellam. How you doing, brother? You can hear my raspiness in my voice. Not feeling too well, but I'm here. Algo. We haven't done Algo in a while. Algo, baby. I'll go around your ass. All right. So, yeah, here we go. Okay, we're seeing a bunch of coins. I appreciate you all participating. That's what this is all about. We got a bit of a trend line here. Is this a falling wedge? Looks like it very well could be. Which is nice to see a bullish structure on Algorand after such a rough couple months. We're kind of dancing right here in this lower order block, right in this zone, these green boxes you see. These are self-populating on the BitLab volume. But if we zoom out here, let me go to 3-day weekly. Look at this. Look at how low we are comparatively with previous price action lows. This would be the ultimate bottom, at least on the Binance chart. And we are dancing right with that level. So I really like Algorand. I will say that. And I'm not going to tell anybody to buy this or sell it or anything. But from my perspective, talk about a good opportunity for it being crushed from the SEC, being labeled potentially a security. Even after all the positive things he said about it while he was at MIT, Gary Gensler, we can see that we are approaching basically an opportunity. If we zoom out on this, actually, let's kind of go like this. We zoom out on this and we see from this zone right here, that's nearly a 30x, 2,991% gain from this low to this high. Will we get something like that again? There's no telling. However, because of the technology and the team behind it, I do think that this will likely perform quite well in the next strong bull trend, especially post-halving. Shout out to Jeanette. Thank you so much. $49.99. Buy some green juice. You know what? I'm going to do that today. There's a spot here near me called Eden. I'll go get a vegetable and fruit smoothie for sure. Thank you for that. I really appreciate you. Shout out to everybody here in chat with us. So I'm seeing ultimately a really strong opportunity for Algorand. Even if it were to lose this level, I think that, any sort of accumulation in this zone here or below, if you have the patience to let the choppiness of the next three to 6 months coming into the halving and probably a little bit post-halving, I think that you'll be in for a really wild ride in the bull market. So I like Algorand for that. Now we look at here, option J. If we do come up, these are a couple of the levels that I'll be watching for kind of stopping points. And why? Because we're talking about where previous price action had interaction. So if we come back down to the 4 hour, let's double click here, get it. Okay, there we go. So what I'm looking for right now is if this holds this level right here, basically the 10-cent level, 10.5, and it's looking like it's trying to push up. If we're able to take out these levels, I'm looking at this zone right in here. But you have to notice, as soon as we get to this zone, we also have this massive resistance order block right above us. So that needs to be noted. If this comes up, I don't see strong indication yet that this is going to, take this out and then just perform well on its own if the rest of the broader crypto market is performing poorly. So I'm looking for this level here. I'm going to look at the velocity, the momentum, the volume, and the, all the indicators and momentum and all the stuff, and potentially look for a position to come back down, find support somewhere down here at 10.4. We want to see if we do lose this level, where are we going? Likely this is kind of the low that I've been looking for if we do kind of trickle down, which is down here at 10.3. That's what I'm seeing on Algorand. Let me zoom back. On all these coins you guys posted. We're going to do Super Turbo TA. You know what? We have not done HBAR in a minute. Let's do HBAR. I love HBAR as well. I unfortunately sold all my HBAR when I was moving. I am looking for some accumulation. So on that note, I do hope it goes down. All right. HBAR. Let's get some context here. This is looking boom, boom. This is looking like a baby setting up for some further downside. We see the momentum waves are reducing in size on the way down. And look at these. These are growing in size also on the negative side. This is basically maintaining, but the upward momentum pressures are waning, meaning the bullish narrative is starting to lose faith. So I'd be looking on HBAR if this does break to the upside. Oops. This is kind of an ugly line. So we got a bounce here, rejection here, rejection here. The wick went past it. Rejection here, rejection here. Wicks passed, but rejection on candle bodies. And we're starting to get rejected here again. The volume's starting to lose control. So volume's starting to lose faith. I'd be looking for this likely to come down, take out this point of control line, which is also the support of our local region, 5247 sort of zone. If we lose that, then I'd be looking at coming down to 5070. And if we lose that, then I'd be looking at probably coming down to 4782, which is right there. 476. Yeah, maybe 47. Yeah, that looks right. Bounce, rejection, bounce, bounce. These are the kind of levels that I'd be looking at. Those are the levels I'll be looking at. You can see them all right here. If we do take this out, then I'd be looking at, I don't think it'd be very strong price action to the upside for the moment. Things are looking like they're likely going to take a move down unless we get some other positive narrative news that really changes the sentiment dramatically. Ton, I don't think we've ever done ton. Let's do ton. Didn't ton just enter the top 20 or something like that? We're getting some bullish divergences here, but on the momentums down here, we're getting some reversal signals, but they're like, these are like minimal signals. These are just for small moves. See this? And right here, we got a very, very small move. This is looking more like a stair step. Where's my curse? There we go. This is looking like something like that is likely to happen. If we come over here, this is the low, option J. Actually, we can actually draw this. Oops. We can draw this across. See this right here? Rejection, support. Look at this. This is right below us. If we do lose down, if we're not able to hold this level 112, then I'd be looking at lower prices, likely here. And then these are kind of the levels. Look at this. This one is right in this order block too, from all the way back here in July. Wait, yeah, I was going to say, wait, July was only a couple days ago. July 2022. We have an order block that's all the way back here. So I'd be seeing if this comes down, probably some moves to the downside. We can also go like this, do option F from this move to this move, and we can see if there's any sort of correlation with the fib extension to the downside. And we see, look at this. This came down from this move to this move. This came down to the 1.618. Look at that, bounced right at the 1.618. The next level, 1.786, is basically right in line with where this next level is, which is $1.12. We lose that, the next level will be down here about $1. That's what I'm seeing on ton. If we are able to push up, then what do? We could take it from this move right here, option F, draw this to the low. Let's delete this other fib, and we can see if we do start pushing up, I want to, I think we likely would get rejected here at the $1.26, the 382, because I'm feeling very weak about markets right now. If we do push up, then I very high probability we'll get rejected at $1.33. I see that as a lower likelihood. I don't even see this as a high. I see this as about 25% chance. I think if we push up, we'll get rejected here at $1.21 and likely come down and then work our way back down. AGIX, we haven't done that one in a while either. I can do it. All right. Yeah, look at this. What are we talking about? Pushing up, and then we get a lower low and a lower high. This is telling me, look for downside targets. So let's kind of draw this right here. Rejection, rejection. We have order blocks right above us. Now, what would these targets be? Where's price interacted before? Here's a zone right here. Why? Because all this price interactivity right here. We also had a wick come down, bounce on this. And then, of course, we can do right here. I'd be seeing something like that. Now, if we go from this move, option F to the top, come across. Look at where this line is over here, where I drew from all this interactivity. This is exactly the 1.382 extension to the downside. So this is telling me this is likely a point. There's two different metrics, two different measurements of different types of data that are suggesting that this is a zone that we should be watching, which is 19 cents, 19.9, which doesn't feel like it's far away. But, you know, that's a 5% move. If we lose that, then the next one down is down here at the 1.618, which is right here at the 18.6. So let's keep an eye on this. If this does push up, I'm looking at a rejection here at 21.7. If we break above that, then that's going to be a whole nother thing. We can look at that if it does happen. Matic. We haven't looked at Matic in a minute. Let's look at Matic. All right, look at this. Very clear level of resistance. Is this a falling wedge? It does look like it is. What just happened? I don't know. Screen's going all over the place. So this is looking, yeah, so we have rejection here, support, 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 support. So this is coming near its near its apex. We're getting a little bit of bullish divergence here. See, this is, wait, is it? Yeah, this is lower, this is higher. This is lower, this is higher. It's not, I mean, if we looked at the candle bodies, higher, lower, lower, higher. So there's some soft bullish divergence here. This did find support in this zone. It's trying to break above this 50 moving average trend signal line, which we can see is very deep red. It pushed past it, but immediately got sucked back into it. So if this does continue to, if this does have any sort of support to break up, I'd be looking at, look at this point of control right here, as well as this order block, as well as a descending level of resistance. I'd be looking at a rejection likely at 68.28. If we reject from here, coming down, you know, you bastard. So we're getting rejections, we're getting bounces, and this bounce just above it. I'd be looking at least testing this level, probably one more time. This is at 66 cents. If we lose that level, then we're gonna have to look at where the downside targets would be from there. But this would be one right here. This is a bounce level and a rejection, bounce, rejection. So this would be another, you know, 4 cents down to 60, 63, 63.8. That's what I'd be seeing there. But on the bullish side, if this does perform counter to the rest of the market, if this does come up here and take this level out, then I'd be looking at this next level up here, which is 70 cents, which is only 3 cents up, but that's still a, you know, pretty decent move from where we're at right now. That's it's a 5% move. If we're able to take that out, this is going to be a lot of work though, because we see this high and these lows. This zone right here is going to be a lot of work. If we come up to this level, I expect we'll probably break down, bounce somewhere, and then continue if we are going to have bullish movement. Now, Link. We haven't done Link in a minute either. Kind of the same thing we were seeing on Matic with the kind of soft bullish divergence. This is looking relatively weak though. Look at this attempt up into this dynamic resistance zone. and it immediately is finding rejection. We only have 34 minutes left. I think there's a pretty high likelihood we'll take out this low that we have right here, which is $7.06, $7.07. If we take that out, then I'm looking directly below us. I don't even have to draw a line because this order block calls it perfectly with these lows and these lows. So these next two levels, if we lose this level, I'd be looking at coming down to 683 and then likely 663 on any continuation. If this does push up into the zone, I'm not considering anything bullish unless we get above this trend signal line right here, but also break through it with some sort of momentum and volume. So that's what I'd be seeing. Okay, let's do XRP. See, one of you asked for Ben coin. I'll do some Ben coin. This is looking option F. Option F gives us our fib. Look at this. Came right to the 382, bounced, lost the 382, traded around it, lost that, came down to the 0.5. I think, yeah, I'm looking for a target down here in the 58 to 60 range. And it'll be interesting to see if XRP can hold it. Because remember, a lot of the court case stuff that's going on, especially the summary judgment being positive, there are judges out there that are questioning it. So this could very well fall completely all the way back down to this level down here in the 46-cent level. So be a little careful with XRP right now until we get more clarity and some more, a surety based on the decisions made by Judge Torres being upheld. Bitcoin. This is going to perform microcap, remember. So this is going to perform kind of on its own. Look at this pretty large wicks to the upside. This is the zone right here, option J. This is the zone right here, option J. And this is the zone right here, option J. So if we break down, I'd be watching this 3896. If we lose that, then it's kind of price discovery to the downside because this was right about when it was launched. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. It's looking like it's trying to form a bit of a base. We are getting a little bit of increase in momentum pressure here. It's all going to depend on buying and selling pressures, and I mean I know that's obvious, but I think watching Ben's video yesterday, or actually listening to their talk on Twitter Spaces, they've done everything they could to completely alleviate themselves of any involvement with the Ben.eth team and their developers, and now they have full control over everything. So they really are working hard to make sure everybody can. To make sure that the utility of this token really gets broadly expanded and delivered on. And just so everybody knows, some people still have the wrong speculation about what this coin is or what it does, or is it for Ben to make money? Ben can't make any money on this coin. Talking about BitBoy, he can't. There's money that he used of his own money to take this out of control from Ben.eth, but in reality, what they did was they locked all the liquidity into a third-party custody liquidity provider that they're not allowed to trade or sell anything until it hits a certain market cap. And even when that market cap hits, and I think it's like 500 billion or 500 million, it might be. Even at that point, they're still only limited to sell at that point up to 0.5% of the daily trading volume. So they can't ever effectively create any issue on the price or rug. It's literally one of the only microcap rug-proof coins that are out there. So it's important to note. Now let's look at Solana. I'm not a Solana fan, but it is. I know a lot of people are, and it is an asset you can make money on. So me not liking it doesn't mean it's not an asset to trade. Why does this do this? Okay, we got this trend line. Now we got a little bit of is it a falling wedge or is it a falling, god dang it, or is it a falling channel? Let me kind of move this. Looks to be a little bit more of a falling channel. Yeah. But we do have this sort of support within this zone. Got a little bit of a bullish divergence on the momentum. We do have this coming in as trying to push past this 50 EMA, the dynamic resistance zone, but we also have this level directly above us. If I had to guess, this likely would come up into this zone, or not come much higher than the zone that it's in, likely come back down. If we cannot hold this level at 22.39, then I do think we're probably trading down into the 21 zone. But that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm appreciating. I love each and every one of you. If you haven't yet, make sure you go give me a follow. Listen to this Twitter Spaces I did yesterday. I'm going to share it. I'm going to share it in the chat. Listen to this. It was a great discussion with The Rational Root, Kevin Svensson, and Jordan Lindsay. And make sure you give me a follow. And if you haven't yet, oh, you know what? We have to do the giveaway. I forgot. Where we at? We have 146 likes. Looks like it's only merch today. So I'm going to give away 2 pieces of merch to one person. So let me go ahead and set this up relatively quickly. Comment picker and a picker wheel. And we're going to add Friday. And we're going to add this at 17. This is going to be much larger. Let's go 18. There we go. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. All right. Let's see who wins. If you haven't yet, make sure you head over to BitLab Academy's page right here at Academy BitLab. Hit the retweet, hit the like button, get involved. This is how you get entered to win. Now I'm going to go ahead and log in. Oops. I'm going to go ahead and log into BitLab Academy. And I've got to come over here to the picker wheel. I've got to log in. Authorize the app. Now we come back over here. So many steps in all this. I believe. Oh, we know what? We got to pick the day. I love you all. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Come on, Friday. All right. I like doing it on the same day. Copy link to tweet. Let's just make sure it is Friday. Yes, it is. Somebody's getting a couple pieces of merch today. And you're all with me. So I'm going to give away, in addition to the merch, I'm going to give away 1 free month of BitLab Academy as well. Just because you're with me today while I'm sick. So I appreciate you all. There we go. Get the data. Start. JF Camp EC. All right. Shoot me a message on the Twitterverse, the Xverse, in Discord, wherever. And once you message me, we will get you set up. Big love. You can also reach out to Alex Green in the mods, in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord yet, remember everybody, there's a free way to get into Discord. There's of course a lot more stuff in the paid area of the Discord, but where's the Discord link? Here's the link right here. Again, if you win stuff, message us in Discord. We will confirm that it is you. Big love to all of you. I appreciate you. I love you. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'm going to get some rest. I'm still going to be working on some stuff today, but I am going to get some rest as well. I love you all. I appreciate you. With that, I bid you adieu. Adios. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Thank you for always tuning in to SickLabAcademy.com. Hit that like button, suckers. Love you all.